Welcome to Rise and Shine Daily Business Tech Boost with me, Charly Leetham. If you're a small business owner looking to simplify technology and get real, actionable advice from someone with 35 years of IT experience, you're in the right place. Every episode, I'll dive into tools and systems like email, CRM, marketing and tracking, and break them down into bite-sized tips you can use right away. Your time is valuable, so let's get straight to the point. It's time to work smarter, not harder. Rise and shine, it's your daily dose of business tech inspiration with me, Charly Leetham. Episode number 386. I'm going to talk again about zero-day vulnerabilities. Just going to recap on a few things we've covered previously and talk a little bit more about how you might protect yourself from them or recover from them if and when you're affected by them. So a zero-day vulnerability, you probably won't know it's a zero-day vulnerability until after the fact. But what it is when unknown software vulnerabilities are exploited before patches are available. Now, you might be saying, but how does that happen? It really doesn't matter how good your processes are. It doesn't matter how good someone's secure software development processes are. It doesn't matter how much a piece of software is tested before it's put into the wild, i.e. into common use. There is generally always something that someone can find to exploit. It introduces a vulnerability into the system. And the reason I say that is because software and computing systems are complex systems, and the interactions, something happens over here and over here something changes, and that the catalyst of that interaction introduces a vulnerability. Now, you might not see that in the majority of systems, but on one system and one combination of pieces of software and pieces of hardware and version numbers introduces that vulnerability. Now, I'm trying to explain it in terms of, it's not always that rare. Sometimes it is that rare. Sometimes it is that complex. The point is that we just don't know sometimes when we put stuff out that this is going to occur. And the best thing that we can do, not just as developers, not just as people who implement all of this and support people like myself, but business people like myself, business people like yourself can do is accept that when you install something, you may well be introducing an unknown vulnerability into your system. And that's okay. That you just need to accept that and know that this may happen. And here's some ways around dealing with it if it does happen. One thing you can do to stay abreast of things, especially when new software is coming out, is make sure you are subscribed to the various security bulletins. There are several around specifically aimed at business level people or at the business talk side of things in terms of this is a problem, this is a problem, this is a problem. Speak to your security guys about it. They can get all the other details from the patch databases and the vulnerability databases that exist out there. But there are bulletins that you can subscribe to and you should be subscribing to that talk about the zero-day threats that are being seen. Of course, you won't know it's a zero-day threat until it's exploited, but once that exploit happens, once the compromise happens, it's classed as a zero-day threat at that point, and things happen around getting it patched. Typically, the patches for those zero-day threats come out very quickly. They may come out within hours of the threat being identified, the hack being identified. It might be a day or so. Maybe it's a bit longer if it's a really complex thing, but we know about it. We can manage it. We try and do things around it. So subscribe to the security bulletins that are out there. You can also use endpoint detection and response tools to identify abnormal behavior. Now, things like I've spoken about using network monitors just to check what your network is doing. And is there a spike in network traffic, an unusual spike in network traffic at an unusual time? that would be indicative that maybe there's a problem there. Did your system slow down when you installed this patch? Like, did it really slow down? Did it start chugging? That's another indication that maybe there's a problem. Did an email system start to email out stuff really quickly? Now, you can use endpoint detection and response tools to identify that stuff. Some of them will actually shut things down and say, we've got a problem, we've shut it down, go and have a look at it. And others will just send you an indication to say, this is a problem, you need to look at it. You can also do that manually. Like I said, is your system slow? Are you starting to see emails coming back responding to you, or are you starting to see emails bounce back to you saying this email address doesn't exist, or this email address is full, and you're getting a lot of those in, or you're getting more of those that you would normally get in? Be cognizant of changes in things like that. That's why it's important. The other thing you can do, and you should do, is have an emergency response plan. Now, I talk about our policies and our procedures and our plans all the time. The point is that these things are going to occur. What is important in the fact that these things are going to occur is how we respond to them. So having a plan on how you're going to respond to it is really important. You need to be able to rapidly address the exploit. You need to be able to know which systems are impacted, or which systems you think are impacted. You need to know how you can shut them down, how you can shut down access to them. If you do have to shut down access to them, what can you do to work around that system while that system is no longer available to you? If you have to shut down email for an hour or so, what is that going to do to your business? How do you handle it? Do you go to the phones? Do you go to DMs? Do you go out on your social media and say, hey guys, we're having a problem with our email systems, DM us here, we'll talk to you here, those sorts of things. So make sure you've got your emergency response plan ready to go. Hopefully you will never, ever, ever have to use it. That would be the ultimate solution, to have a plan and not be able to use it. But if you do have to use it, make sure it is usable, make sure it is easy to implement, or relatively easy to implement and manage, and make sure that your staff and your team members know what is going on and where that plan is, and what their responsibilities within that plan is. Alrighty, so hopefully this is something you will never ever have to deal with. It's always a possibility, but hopefully it's something that's very, very rare for you. It is certainly my wish, my prayer for you. And if it does happen to you, hopefully this episode has helped you be able to identify what it might be and how to respond to it. What do you guys think? Leave comments wherever you are watching or listening to this video. Send me a DM on any of our social media channels and I'll get back to you eventually. Come join my locals community, askcharlyleetham.locals.com. Love to have a conversation with you there. If you can, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell to find out when I drop more content. Thanks, guys. I will see you tomorrow, and we're going to talk a little bit about certifications and how you can take everything I've spoken about in this series and about getting certifications to strengthen cybersecurity within your business. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye, guys. Hey there, thanks so much for tuning in to Rise and Shine, your daily business tech boost. I hope today's episode gave you some actionable insights that will make your business tech work smarter for you. If you found value, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with other small business owners who could use a daily boost. For more tips, tools, and resources, visit www.askcharlyleetham.com. Until next time, keep rising, keep shining, and let's make tech simple together.